Have you ever seen a huge building or a massive elaborate road that nobody seems to use? Those mega projects that makes you ask yourself, why is this fabulous edifice not in use anymore? Well, that is exactly what this video is dedicated to uncovering, with a focus on Africa. I'll be telling you about some of the biggest mega projects in Africa that have become practically useless to the general public. For example, did you know that there is an African stadium that reportedly became a grazing ground for cows? Hard to imagine, right? Stick around and find out more. What's up, my Gistertainers? Today, I'll tell you everything you need to know about the 10 most useless mega projects in Africa. Please subscribe by clicking the red subscribe button and click on the bell icon beside it so you can get notified about our hot videos immediately we upload. Alright, let's get started. Every now and then, we hear news of massive projects that were supposed to be futuristic wonders of the world, but later became wasted endeavors. Examples like the South China Mall, the Olympic facilities of Athens in Greece, and the Montreal Olympic Stadium are popular names that spring to mind. But Africa also has quite a number of its own, so let us get right into the juicy details. Number 10. MKO Abiola Stadium, Nigeria. We get things started with our number 10, which is quite a sad story. Built at the cost of 54 billion naira 17 years ago, this magnificent stadium is now starting to look like a shadow of itself due to the badly maintained facilities and equipment. Although it was among the best of its kind when used for the first time for a Nigeria vs Brazil football friendly and at the 2003 All-Africa Games, the facility is a mess these days. Number 9. The Millennium Tower, Nigeria. Tagged as an extensive project, the Millennium Tower was initiated in 2005 by the Olusegun Obasanjo administration. The tower was designed to be the tallest tower in Abuja at 560 feet with an estimated cost of 69.3 billion naira. It was gathered that for several years, the government did not make budgetary provision for the complex, thereby forcing Salini Nigeria Limited, the Italian firm handling the construction, to suspend work after over 35.7 billion naira had gone into it. With the current inflation in the prices of building materials, a rough estimate of an additional 56 billion naira would be needed to complete the project. The tower was designed at the same time with the National Library, National Square, International Auditorium, and the Nigerian Cultural Center within the same vicinity. Number 8. NIPO's Corporate Headquarters, Nigeria. We have another Nigerian project popping up at number 8. It is safe to say that of all the abandoned multi-million naira structures in the Nigerian capital of Abuja, one of the worst is the NIPO's corporate headquarters opposite the Nigerian Export Promotion Council at Aguyi Ironsi Street, Maitama. The contractor handling the project, Eldorado Nigeria Limited, was said to have abandoned work early into the project. What is visible there now is an old signpost bearing information about the project's owner, contractor, and other basic information. Quite a sad ending for an edifice that had so much promise. Number 7. Bagamoyo Port, Tanzania. In the curious case of our number 7, the nation of Tanzania embarked on the construction of an $11 billion megaport at the Swahili historical town of Bagamoyo as it endeavored to become a regional economic powerhouse. Majorly founded by China, Bagamoyo Port was expected to handle 20 million containers a year by 2045, making it the largest such facility in East Africa. Number 6. The Ghana STX Building Project, Ghana. This $10 billion housing project was supposed to lead to the construction of 200,000 houses in Ghana for over 5 years. From reported findings, causes of failure of the project were mostly due to disunity, lack of effective governance, and project control. Corruption was also believed to be a feature, yet another case of African nations being an obstacle to their own progress. Number 5. Federal Inland Revenue Service, Nigeria. We are halfway through the list, but the most shocking entries are yet to come. Nigeria pops up on our list once again with the eternally uncompleted project that is the Federal Inland Revenue Service FIRS headquarters building. BNN Engineering and Construction Limited is the main contractor. Construction began in 2015 by Ato Architects, who designed the project, whose cost was put at 39.2 billion naira as of August 2014 to compromise 3 towers joined at the center, according to Estate Intel Limited. However, the structure is yet to be completed despite the 2021 completion deadline given by the contractors handling the projects. Number 4. The Mususu Kalenga building, Zambia. The structure was built at a cost of 400 million by the Zambia State Insurance Corporation and sold to Royal Lutanda Company Limited at 800 million in 2000. The 11-story building has remained abandoned for over 25 years. There is no indication as to why it was never completed, but corruption is a strongly suspected culprit for the failure of this project that could have been a blessing to its country. Number 3. The National Library Headquarters, Nigeria. Located on Plot 35, Central Business District, Abuja, the National Library Headquarters is another project which has been abandoned for years. The building has become a mirage because the completion of the project seems to have been defeated by lack of political will by the government. It was gathered that the contract for the project was awarded in 2006 to a construction company known as Mrs. Reynolds Construction Company at the cost of 8.59 billion naira, but construction was stalled because of the government's inability to fund the contract, and in 2008, the contractor demanded an upward review of the amount. However, the Ministry of Education later reviewed the design of the property, leading to the upward review of the project to 18 billion naira in 2009, following approval by the Federal Executive Council, with a completion period of 21 months effective from July 2010. But 11 years have gone by, with the structure retaining the same without any progress towards completion. Number 2. Levy Moanawansa Football Stadium, Zambia. Imagine a stadium costs $65 million to build and has a maximum capacity of 40,000 people, but it rarely attracts a crowd larger than 5,000. This is the reality of the Levy Moanawansa Football Stadium in Ndola. The structure is a prime example of white elephant project to the nation of Zambia. Number 1. Kenya Standard Gauge Railway, Kenya. We are finally at the very top of the mountain, and number 1 is no other than the Kenya Standard Gauge Railway. Kenya built the 969-kilometer Standard Gauge Railway from Mombasa to Malaba at a cost of $9.9 billion in what was billed as one of the largest infrastructure projects in Africa. The first phase of the project, which spans 472 kilometers from Mombasa to Nairobi, was completed at a cost of $3.27 billion, while phase 2A from Nairobi to Naivasha was completed at the cost of $1.5 billion. On the other hand, phase 2B of the railway from Naivasha to Kisumu was supposed to cost $3.8 billion, while phase 2C, a 107-kilometer extension from Kisumu to Malaba, would consume $1.31 billion. Unfortunately, the project ran into financial troubles and was abandoned. A truly unfortunate end to what would have been a magnificent achievement. Well, that's all I've got for you for now. What do you think about this mega project? Is there any useless mega project you think could have made the list? If you had the chance, in what order would you arrange the entries on this lineup? Let's hear your thoughts by dropping a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the red subscribe button. And if you like the video, share it to your friends and family. Until next time guys, take care.